been thinking about you lately, and all the places that you could take me. Why you so shy? You got me going wild, 'cause I've been saying that you got it, baby, give it to me. See my lightning, you gonna feel my thunder. Show me how you do it, come on baby, say it louder. Got you on my mind now, let me see your style. I'm on my way tonight. Oh, yeah, yeah. 'Cause I think about you, you. 'Cause I think about what I think about you. I wanted to make you see that you were the one for me, but there was enough 'cause you're up and down and then everything's the same. Baby, how do I make you listen? Don't wanna be through 'cause I wanna put you, baby, you and me tonight. Don't need to behave, gonna take me away, baby. Do it one time. And the thought of you drives me crazy. You don't need to worry, 'cause you know that you got me high. 'Cause I think about you, you. 'Cause I
escape. We'll take you home. When you're walking on the moon. Walking on the moon. Chase your happy place. We'll change your groove. When you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel.
5 seconds remaining, ball on the blue side. It's not gonna happen. STMC Gold take the grand final.
Because with live sport cancelled and footy fields deserted, there's never been a better time to be a gamer.
Second attempt, but no boost to fall through. He's trying desperately to get another touch, but he just cannot get there. And with 5 seconds remaining, that could have been the last attempt. Colt's gonna get one more goal in. And STMC Gold take game number 1 with that goal right there. Granted,
Playing online games in a school uniform is now the next big thing.
Bonnie is now in a position. The C4 comes out, melts out Lightning. Can't get the follow-up frag.
This is the world of esports, aka sporting comps played via online games.
it's just like any other sport. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Grand Final Day here at the XPHSL Rocket League Season 2 Grand Final, I suppose, because there are only 4 teams left, and by the end of it all, only one will remain and be our grand champion. I am one, Max Formal Von Neumann. I've been with you from the start, and I'm excited to bring you to the end of what has been another great and exciting season. Now, 4 teams, as I mentioned, do remain. I'm talking about Marsden, Ormiston College, St. Edmunds, and of course Chisholm High School. All 4 of these schools, some of them had multiple teams, yet each only have one representative in this Final Four. We will be having a semifinal match between Marsden against Ormiston College, and then we'll have our grand final, which is where we get rid of that best of 5 and upgrade it to a best of 7. These games will be played back-to-back, so do stick with us. But before we get too into it, a quick thank you to some of our sponsors who have been with us since the start of this event, starting with ZQ Racing. Each and every week, I get to come into this office. I get to sit in this ZQ chair with its eternal steel frame, adjustable armrest, that full 180 recline, and those neck and lumbar pillows, and it's just so comfortable. I always want to take it home with me because I definitely need this. I did place an order, and one is coming soon. I actually do need to kind of check up on that because I'm looking forward to sitting in comfort at home. Wow, as well as I should say, as when I'm at work. And you can see that Gamer Series, it is their best-selling fabric chair. It is super nice. I do recommend people go out there and pick one up. Similarly, as well, a big thank you to the Canberra Havoc. They will be the coaching sponsor for this event. The winning teams do get some coaching sessions and lessons from this team. Now, if you had been watching last week, you would have seen that, hey, these guys did make top 4 in the Open Demolition Tournament held here at XP. They also, once again, have qualified for the top 16 in RLCSX, so these are pro players. I mean, this entire lineup has played in events internationally. It is Spidoge, Walcott, and Leduc. Definitely players you would benefit a lot from learning from. It's actually very interesting as well because not only are like Canberra Havoc sort of this star team, but then there's also a team that plays very similar to them in Forbidden Gaming. They're also having surprise success. So when you think about teams like Canberra Havoc, like Forbidden Gaming, they always sort of approach the game with a different playstyle at times than your traditional Rocket League Oceanic teams, and yet they constantly do seem to win. So if you want to pick up some of that, I mean, Canberra Havoc, a good place to start. A big thank you to them as well, of course, as the Computer Alliance for helping provide all of the tech that we use both on and off stream. So a big thank you to them as well as we do start to look ahead as well as kind of look back at what we've been through in order to get to this final day. Now, there were 2 different conferences, an A conference and a B conference, but there was also our Academy League. And you can see right here, this was made up of teams still kind of trying to learn the game and get into it. Lakes College did get themselves the clean sweep throughout that round robin, finishing 8-0. That does mean next season, should they look to compete, they will be playing in one of our main leagues and going up against some of the best. Lakes College also got 2nd place as well. Roosters finishing 3rd, Ormiston College in 4th, and then the MSHS Marauders down in 5th. They had a bit of a roughie. They couldn't find a win this season, but you never know. Through training and constant improvement, we do hope to see them back and compete again next season. This Academy League was a lot of fun. As you can see, that middle of the pack was very competitive and very even, so we'll be excited to see where these teams go from here. Furthermore, though, let's take a look at how our, upper divisions actually went. In Conference A, which is the conference we will be covering in our semifinal matchup, did see Marsden nearly pull off that undefeated season. They did drop 1 game towards the end. I believe it was to STMC Black, and it was super close, but STMC Black actually did not get through that quarterfinal. They got upset by the OC Redbacks 1, who are now looking to make yet another upset. If they can take down Marsden, it would be huge for the school, huge for this team. Again, I remember back during the preseason of Season 1, OC Redbacks, they were looking a little rusty. They were looking a little green to the game, and now they're fighting for a chance to get into our grand final against one of the most dominating teams we've actually seen thus far in this event. But over at Conference B, you do have who most likely is going to be Marsden's biggest rival, and that is St. Edmunds C2. That 10-0 record is looking mighty tough to overcome, but if they're to make it to that grand final, they are going to have to get past Chisholm Maroon. They've only dropped 2 games, Chisholm Maroon, both of them to St. Edmunds. You know they're going to be looking for that revenge. This match will be happening off stream, but it will be recorded, so please, please, please make sure to follow our XP Twitter account, our Facebook, all of our socials. Eventually, the YouTube as well will be able to upload that series if you're curious what went down. It was a rough go for the Marauders, though, as neither team did qualify for that top 4. The rivalry between Chisholm and St. Edmunds, though, is about to continue. It will be continuing in that other semifinal match. Now, though, we go back to, I suppose, what we're going to be hitting up, and that is our finals bracket, as you can sort of see how these teams did get here. Marsden 3-0'd the OC Redbacks as they've been continuing their kind of dominant streak. OC Redbacks got that upset over STMC Black 3-1. It's still going to be a tougher match for them in this Conference A finals. Meanwhile, down in Conference B, St. Edmunds 3-0 over Chisholm Green and Chisholm Maroon 3-0 over St. Edmunds. So both schools, again, kind of after each other for revenge. Now, 3rd place playoff match will be happening as well off stream. So all the players in this event, they will be playing 2 series. Again, that 3rd place match will be happening off stream, will be recorded, and can be viewed on YouTube at a later time. The big match, though, Marsden, OC Redbacks, this is what we are going to be covering first. This is what we will be kicking off very, very momentarily. As you can see, our Conference A final. The winner of this goes to that grand final. It is still a best of 5. It's not the best of 7 yet. That doesn't happen until the grand final. So it still can go either way. But if I were to make a prediction, look, OC Redbacks, their improvement and their journey has been quite phenomenal. But in order to get over the top of this Marsden team, they're going to have to take it to a level we have not seen from them. Marsden, favorites to make it to that grand final. It's these fast kickoff plays like this, because this is live, might I add. We are underway for our semi-final match, and you can see right here, it's a bit of a back and forth at the moment. It's the Redbacks who actually get that first real pressure through, yet Dead should be able to clear that ball out. S actually is the one who goes over the top and gets pressure again back on that Marsden side. And one of the things for the Redbacks that I'm looking for if they're going to advance through the series is that sort of sustained attack. I feel a lot of teams tend to get a little nervous and start to play a bit more passively, but the Redbacks were one of the first teams to kind of adapt a more aggressive positioning and play style, and it greatly benefited them in that quarterfinal matchup. Now, doing it against Marsden is going to be a bit different. I do feel this Marsden team is going to be a little bit faster than MSHS, which they were up against before. At the moment, though, Redbacks are looking pretty good. They are on that attacking half, although a lot of space was given to S right there through the corner, who didn't actually capitalize it. It looked like S was more focused on trying to win the 50, and it didn't pay off. So OC Redbacks still on the attack. Rinkaroo had a chance for that opening goal. S is there on defense, and now we get to see a counterattack attempt. I like how spread out Marston was when pushing up the field. That's actually what set up Dead for the backboard setup. S goes up for the shot, but it's stopped by Harvey this time around, and OC Redbacks now going to try to establish their own counterattack. Brenny the Beast pops it up. The ball kind of going back towards his own net. Going to be shut down for now. Brenny tries to clear it up. Dead goes for the redirect, but Rinkaroo there waiting mid-pitch. It's actually a bit of a double commit from the Redbacks. Two members looking very eager to keep that offensive pressure on, and the mid-pitch just getting shut down right now. An awkward miss coming from the Marston side. Dead goes for the dribble, but gets bumped out of it by his own teammate. Shots off the crossbar. No one's in the middle of the pitch to follow it up, and that net looked pretty open as the OC Redbacks did double commit on defense. 2 minutes into our opening game, still looking at a 0-0 scoreline right now. Very high-level Rocket League, actually. I'm super impressed with both these teams out of this first 2 minutes. It's hard to believe that this is the same OC Redbacks that we saw way back when at the start of everything, but they are actually challenging, and we got a Rule 1 happening between S and Harvey. It looks like Harvey broke it. Harvey was the one who broke the Rule 1. I want that to be known. We saw it on stream. Typically, that means bad luck and fortune is in your future, and you can see Marston, they're looking to capitalize. Brenny the Beast will push it in. And that's going to be 1-0 for Marston. This is why you do not break Rule 1. Harvey was the one caught in no man's land. Can't make the read off the backboard. He broke Rule 1. It was bound to happen. Brenny the Beast making it 1-0. All right, Redbacks, now time to see if you can come back from that. They played a very strong 2.5 minutes, but our favorites still were eventually able to find that goal. Good play coming from Marston, and now they're again setting themselves up. A great touch by Frito, actually. Unfortunately, no teammate was there to follow through from underneath, so Marston is able to keep this attacking pressure on. Brenny the Beast absolutely drills that shot. Second goal of the game for Brenny, and now Marston has sort of established this control we were expecting to see from them. Interesting that it's the middle of the pitch that is kind of getting exposed right now for the Redbacks. That's twice there's been a setup sort of near the goal with the follow-through bang straight front and center. That is unusual only because the Redbacks previously had been playing so aggressive, and they did a good job in the quarterfinals to shut down that middle of the pitch. Yet Marston, I think, playing that a little bit faster, as you can see right here. Brenny the Beast finds that gap straight down the center and gets yet another goal. Dead to S to Brenny. That was actually a beautiful 1-2-3 setup, as Brenny even went for the turtle shot, so a little bit of style and showmanship coming from this Marston side as they're starting to bring this score to definitely a situation where it might be out of reach, unfortunately, for the Redbacks in this first game. Marston, though, very dominant performance thus far. We could be seeing a lot of them today, as the victory here means they do get to play yet again on stream in our grand final. Brenny the Beast through the corner. Nice touch up. Defense, awkward read from Rinkaroo, yet Harvey was still sitting on post defense. Can make the save. Again, though, Marston, they spread themselves out across that mid-pitch so well, which makes it so tough to sort of break this offensive hold. Eventually, Brenny does push too far forward, so OC are able to try to take it over the top. 1:20 remaining in game number 1, and if the Redbacks are going to come back into it, they need to score off this attacking pressure. Frito doing his best to set it up. Harvey's there. He had the shot, but he pushed it a little too high. Double commit out of the box nearly costs Marston, but the shot was not able to connect, and that might do it for this first game. Obviously, 1 minute to go, still time, but we're going to need to see perfection from this Redbacks side. And while they are on defense, it's that much more difficult to find those scoring opportunities. 47 seconds to go. Marsden actually let that one get by them, so another opportunity perhaps for the Redbacks, but as with that touch is going to slow it down. Defense given time to recover. Rinkaroo there for the shot and pushes it high. Next member not going to get there in time. No power on that setup for Rinkaroo. Does mean that S was able to make that backward read, gets the ball to the corner, kills precious time, gives time as well for the defense to reset, actually mount a counterattack. 22 seconds to go. Marsden State High School, they're going to go ahead and take our opener. It looks like that final score line most likely to be 3-0 as we wait for the clock to run out. A great start nonetheless from Marsden. This is exactly what we were kind of expecting coming into this one. They are that faster team, that more consistent team, and Brenny put a couple absolute laser beams at the net. So it's going to be a fantastic start for Marsden. looking very much in control. The hat trick for Brenny is not something to sort of scoff at whatsoever. And if the OC Redbacks are going to come back into this series, they're going to have to shut down that middle of the pitch. They're kind of like overcommitting, I feel, on the setups and not really preparing themselves for the shots. They're also only leaving one person in the box to kind of handle this. And while typically I don't like stacking the box, and I still don't, I would rather see that one person in the box press forward on the challenge and have someone be able to rotate underneath. And that way you're still kind of going 1-for-1 with these shots, and eventually something will break. More than likely, it will be the attackers, as they're the ones who often have to make the tougher reads, and then you can mount your own counterattack. For this Marston side, though, more of the same. I love how quickly they're able to spread themselves out and cover a lot of ground, especially when pressing on this attack. I do feel at times OC has been sort of stacking one side or the other, and that also has been leaving them a bit exposed. So if Marston can continue to keep themselves spread out and not get clumped just because they see their opponents clumping up, I do believe they will continue to have success, especially when on that attacking half of the pitch. And it's really a lot of earnest at this stage for the OC Redbacks to come back into this one and adapt their own strategy against Marston. Now, we will be kicking off game number 2 in just a few moments. I'm curious what you think, chat. I can have a look over to you, say who you think is going to win this one. I know we're all upset at Harvey for breaking that rule 1. All right, we're all upset. That's really where things did start to turn around, by the way, for the Redbacks. It should be worth noting. Harvey broke rule 1. All of a sudden, Marston got 3 goals. Connection, I 100% believe so. Never break rule 1. As we get back into this, it is game number 2. Marston State High School looking to extend this one to a 2-0 series lead. They will need a win here to do so. It would be very, very, very difficult for the OC Redbacks to come back, I feel, in a reverse sweep situation. So it's kind of already must-win for this orange side, who find themselves at defense at the moment. And again, they're starting to clump into that corner. They're starting to cheat up at that ball, and not a lot of spacing giving. Rinkaroo actually trying to push up the middle, and that nearly exposes the net. In fact, it does. Brenny the Beast gets his 4th goal of the series. It takes about 38 seconds, but Marston retakes that lead. And you can see the OC Redbacks, they clump themselves up on that left side. Marston, they spread themselves out, and all they had to do was get that ball across the box, and the shot was to be had. So Marston just playing a more dynamic offense right now that the Redbacks defense can handle. Keep in mind, too, Redbacks have yet to actually get a goal in this series as well. So even when on defense, Marston has just been able to sort of shut things down. One of the reasons why this team is so scary, and it's one of the reasons why I still am sort of predicting them to be in this grand final match. I'm going to be super curious to see how Marston would compete against a like St. Edmunds. I think if St. Edmunds does beat Chisholm, we could be seeing a very intense grand final. If Chisholm gets that upset over St. Edmunds, well, I have no idea then, because that means Chisholm is playing at another level that we have not seen from them just yet. So that will also be a fun grand final. I mean, you never know. OC Redbacks still very much in this. Still plenty of time in our second semifinal, but they really need to find a way to sort of get some attacking pressure and be able to maintain it. That's a good pass. Rennie the Beast just not quite fast enough to turn it into a shot just yet. All across the middle of the pitch. It's actually going to be played through the corner by Dead, looking to drop it down. Brenny didn't quite wrap around that one. Still only a 1-goal lead, but the Redbacks have been on defense, it feels like, for pretty much the entirety of this second game thus far. Dead able to make that backboard read. Marston, probably one of the best teams in this tournament at being able to play off the backboard defensively. We've seen it time and time again. A lot of teams sort of don't know how to defend that backboard very well, and it's been a scoring opportunity each and every time from a lot of our top-tier teams. OC Redbacks, they've tried to rely on it a couple times already in this game, but Marston, by having, you know, the ability to play backboard defense, are able to make saves. That was, look, we saw that, all right. S bumping his own teammate out of the way to take the save himself. S stands for save. It also stands for solo play, but that doesn't mean Brenny the Beast is going to have to rotate back and make a bit of a clutch save of his own. OC Redbacks on the attack, looking for that equalizer. Even getting demos as well, as Rinkaroo takes Dead out of the equation. Freedo needed a bit tougher of a hit than that. Still sets up Rinkaroo. That shot's going to go in. And OC Redbacks able to find a way back into this game. One apiece off of the setup through the corner. Brenny the Beast just did not have the height. And I'm not sure what was going on with Dead, who was just sitting still in the box. OC Redbacks, they're going to take that one right there, obviously, get a goal on the board. Their first goal of the series, but it's a very critical one. Only need one more to take the lead in this one, yet it is Marsden who are on the attack, looking to take that lead right back, looking to give themselves that 2-0 advantage and secure a spot in the grand final, well, pretty much. Again, reverse sweeps are a thing, but it's so much easier to just win game 2 if you're OC Redbacks and be like, okay, we can take a game off these guys. They are not unbeatable. Dead, playing through the corner, Brenny the Beast. Nice touch over the top of Freedu. That does mean you're going to have to see a fast reaction out of Rinkaroo, who nearly got bumped out of the play. That was a very scary situation for the Redbacks, who once again find themselves clumped on their own right shoulder. They can't afford to be clumped over there. They really need to spread out, similar to Marsden, because it just creates so many more opportunities as S gets bumped off the ball. OC Redbacks trying to find the attack, but instead Dead gets a critical dunk that throws the ball all the way back to the orange side of the pitch. S, not even contested, will take a shot. That was a missile. Caught by Freedu. S, another opportunity. Ball goes through the box, but no one's underneath just yet. In fact, another touch by Freedu, who's looking to go all the way. The solo play from Freedu might be what OC needs. That shot from Harvey's going to hit the crossbar. It looked like it had a chance for a critical Redbacks lead. Instead, we are still tied with only a minute to go. The pinch goes in favor of Freedu, and the OC Redbacks take the lead with 50 seconds remaining. Definitely turning into a very, very, very tight game right now, as Marsden State High School, a bit more passively played than what we saw in game number 1, are now finding themselves behind for the first time in this series. 50 seconds to retake that lead. Brenny the Beast has scored all 4 goals. It's time for someone else to give it over to S. Great read again off of that backboard. Does equalize this game. It took 6 seconds, and unfortunately Freedu's touch, he actually needed to play it back to his own corner. He tried to push the ball forward, but it was just really a pass right to his opponent. If he was able to redirect that into the corner, it would have bought the OC Redbacks the time needed to make the recovery on defense. Dead nearly finds it off the kickoff. Rinkaroo able to get that touch, but now S had a chance. Harvey missed the demo that he really should have been able to connect right there. It still will be an OC attack, at least momentarily, but they're overcommitting. The panic mechanics coming through from the Redback side, while Marsden continues to stick to their rotations, continues to play that calm game. S goes one-on-one, goes two-on-one, and gets the ball past both defenders, gets a bump as well. Brenny is in a tight situation. Harvey nearly own goals it, but instead gets the pinch out of that corner. 7 seconds away from overtime. The next goal definitely wins this one in regulations or in extra minutes. Rinkaroo keeping that ball in the air, but from underneath, you do see Brenny gets it to the wall. Dead pushing it forward to the corner. OC Redback's defense needs to hold right now. Ball still up. Rinkaroo taking it the other way underneath. Touched by Brenny. Harvey has the shot, but cannot make contact with the ball. So we will go to our first overtime of the evening. Kickoff looks to go towards Rinkaroo, but it's Dead with another aggressive kickoff who sets up the attack. And that's an open net. Brenny can't quite find the angle. S with the follow through as well. Wasn't able to bang that one in. Tight situation for the Redbacks, who nearly let that one slip, but now they'll have their own chance on the offense. Harvey puts it up. It's going to go off that backboard, but again, S able to make the read. The backboard defense from Marsden, so consistent. Rinkaroo misses a shooting opportunity, and Brenny will look to clear it right on back. Gets the bump as well, yet Harvey, nice recovery, gets the boost, but doesn't get the ball. That was a scary shot by Dead. Freedu makes the read. Brenny can't follow through with the spike, and we still find ourselves tied at 2 apiece. 42 seconds into this overtime. OC Redbacks, their turn on attack once more. Freedu, backward. Do we see the shot? It is going from underneath, and Harvey somehow sneaks it through. The OC Redbacks take game number 2, and we got ourselves a proper series on our hand. Harvey going underneath. S cannot make that recovery. He was looking to play backboard, wasn't expecting the shot, and the OC Redbacks do get one over Marsden, and this series just got interesting. Oh my goodness. Something about this OC Redbacks team, you think they're behind, you think they're out, and they always seem to find ways to come back and make these exciting. Marsden, plenty of opportunities to end this game. Brenny the Beast, he had a few shots. They weren't the easiest shots. In fact, they were actually quite difficult ones, but they're shots that we've seen Brenny hit in the past. A couple spikes that just went a little bit too high or a little bit too low. And I feel if we were going to look at that game as in who had more opportunities to score, Marsden definitely still had more opportunities, and when I'm looking to sit back and evaluate who I think is going to take this series, that typically is what I look towards. So even though Marsden did drop this game, I still feel like they are playing a bit better overall than the Redbacks. So I am still looking for them to bounce it back. I think some of those misses, specifically out of Brenny, are things that can get cleaned up. And we also saw at times the OC Redbacks get a little panicky, get a little stressed. And we saw some of that stress decision-making, again, causes them to sort of tighten their rotations, perhaps a little too tight, and get a little too clumped together, whereas Marsden continues to have more solid fundamentals on their rotations. Now, that's not to take anything away from the Redbacks, because it was those tight rotations that did give them those scoring opportunities at the end. I just feel that strategy sometimes is a bit high risk, high reward, and Marsden, based on how they played it in the past, should be able to adapt and recover from it. I still like Marsden into the series, but the OC Redbacks definitely deserve credit for taking that game. It's not a sure thing. That is for sure. This is not a for sure, okay, Marsden higher seed, they're taking this Redbacks 3rd seed. Yeah, maybe not. No. The OC Redbacks are actually, every game, looking better and better than the last. So, still very much a chance to take this one, as off of that kickoff, ball is in no man's land for quite a considerable amount of time. Rinkaroo finally able to get to it. S looking to clear it right back that other way. Ball gets taken to the quarter. Freedo wins himself a little 50, but Dead still keeps that attacking pressure on, looking to play the backboard, but too many defenders were in the way. Rinkaroo with the miss opens the door for Brenny the Beast. That is 5 on the Brenny count, might I add, for this series. You can see right here, Rinkaroo had to make contact with that ball. By missing it, it was just a wide open net. 22 seconds for Marsden to take the lead. They've gotten the first goal now in all 3 games. In fact, it's been Brenny who has gotten that first goal in all 3 games thus far. S trying to set something up, gets that ball to the corner. Dead looking to power through in that upper corner. Open net. S can't make contact with the ball, and that is one Marsden would like back. It does not get more open than that. Very unfortunate situation from Marsden, yet the defense from the Redbacks still have not been able to clear it back the other way. Ball bouncing around right now. Finally, Rinkaroo goes for that clear. Actually gets the bump on the tail end. S goes up, and so does Freedo, who wins out on that 50. Dead looking to push it back towards that orange goal. Caught by Harvey. Ball continue to get pushed up. Brenny the Beast not able to find the shot. Back and forth, middle of the pitch. Ball rolling towards the Marsden side. It's a good touch by Dead yet again. Looking to set himself up. Nice shot. It's a little bit too high. I like the setup and the shot, though, from Dead. Unfortunately, it is kind of another missed open net. And Rinkaroo with the tight rotation off of the Freedo setup will equalize this game. Watch this one again. Rinkaroo to Freedo, who pushes it to the backboard. S tries to make the read, but those tight rotations, too much for Marsden to handle at times. And the OC Redbacks, in their aggressive play style, find yet another goal. Marsden has to be careful of that. If they get that ball to that backboard, I mean, we see him score so many times, and again, it's off of the backboard, nearly forced in. OC Redbacks just barely missed out on that one. Marsden with the great save, and now comes the counterattack. Good touch by Freedo, but it's off of that awkward crossbar, and I don't think anyone was expecting that, so both teams a little bit slow to react to that setup. Harvey eventually does find the clear, has boost to play with. Could be seeing a bit of a dribble play. S on defense, what's he got? He's got to get up higher. Ball off the crossbar, will get pushed in by Rinkaroo, and the OC Redbacks take themselves a 2-1 lead in our semifinal. Oh my goodness. I thought Harvey was going to be able to push that one in, but the tight rotation from Rinkaroo yet again punishes Marsden, and this is what you want to see. This is really great Rocket League coming from the Redback side. And Marsden, yes, they're playing a bit more spread out, and while that's good for them, but when the first member gets beat by a tight rotation, they still need to be able to react in time. Very tough situation right now for Marsden. They find themselves down yet again in this game. S just with the solo play dunk. Okay, tie this one back up. What a goal out of S right there. And this is where the tight rotations can come back to hurt you. No one behind Rinkaroo because 2 members were pushing forward with that ball, and that's the kind of counterattack that you need if you are going to get punished by tight rotations and tight spacing in the pass. Great adaptation, great goal out of S to find that equalizer. Rinkaroo gets the demo in the air, yet in the no man's land from underneath. It's actually Marsden who will start the attack from over the top, though Harvey looking to set things up. S tries to play off the wall. Actually drills that one, and again, pushing too far forward is the OC Redbacks. Dead He just had to go straight down the middle of the pitch, and it's that middle of the pitch again that has been costing the OC Redbacks. No one rotating back on defense. 3-2 now in favor of this Marsden side. They have retaken that lead. This game 3, I think, is going to be so critical in determining where this series goes from here, because each of these teams are definitely looking so close together. As with a drilled shot, this time Harvey was able to rotate back, so the middle of the pitch finally shut down. Awkward touch, though, from the corner. Does mean Marsden will have another chance to make this a 2-goal lead. S gets the spike down. The follow-through is there, but the save by Rinkaroo. Tense read is able to pull it off. Nice pass to Freedu as opposed to driving it across the box. That's what I like to see. Dead, though, still looking to set up teammates, but no one's there to actually hit that one. So Rinkaroo instead blasts it, as well as blasting Brenny the Beast. OC Redbacks down by 1 on the defensive side of the pitch. Marsden State High School now. They're going to have to play some defense of their own after that one was absolutely drilled by Rinkaroo. Freedu, last member, kind of makes that save, looking to play off the wall. Gets a very weak touch on that, so S will have a chance. Open net, and eventually it will be cut off by Rinkaroo. Again, OC clumping into the corner. Not what you want to see from this team. Fortunately, Rinkaroo able to make that recovery, but they need more than recoveries. They need points, and they need it in the next 1 minute and 20 seconds, or else Marsden will be going to match point. Ball in the air, fall through from S underneath. Gets a weird bounce out of the corner. Freedu will go up for it. No one's challenging him yet. Freedu completely whiffs it. That opens the door for S to put on a shot. Harvey now has to play out of the corner. Rinkaroo gets bumped out of the play, but Marsden a bit too slow to react. Dead gets the play off of that backboard. Rinkaroo makes the read, but by keeping 1 member forward and 2 members back and keeping the offensive pressure in this facet does mean that even if the OC Redbacks get control, it's going to be so tough to break Marsden's defense, unless, of course, they all clump on the wrong side of the pitch. A lot of green field for OC. Does get the ball back on that blue side with 42 seconds to go. They're looking for that equalizer. Backboard shut down by Dead, but Harvey's still going to play the corner. S, tight follow through, puts it up, and that's a big miss from Freedu. That might just cost the Redbacks this game. Shot from S, ball in the middle. Freedu's able to get there, but so is Rinkaroo. They're clumped together. Demo going down. S bobs it the wrong way. It still will be caught by Dead. Back and forth play at the moment. Brenny the Beast makes that save. Dead looking to follow it through. Poor angle on the ball. It does not matter, as Brenny the Beast will be the one who follows it through. Marsden State High School get the 2-goal cushion. They will be going to match point, and the Redbacks once again are going to have to play a game of comebacks against this Marsden team. 15 seconds in our 3rd game of this best of 5. Kickoff looks good for Dead. And with S keeping the attacking pressure there, Marsden will be getting themselves another win in this series. They will be going to match point. Grand final point, as a matter of fact, is if they win that one, they get themselves to that grand final. Ball touches. Marsden wins it 4-2. So looking ahead right now, this is a very tense series. I have to admit, the OC Redbacks, when they get that offense going, they look just as good as any other team in this league. It's just their defense at times, when put under pressure, can start to crack. They tend to clump. They tend to double commit. And it's in these little issues that in the past, sometimes they've gotten away with just because of how aggressive they are. It kind of causes teams to hesitate when looking to punish them. But Marsden, in this 3rd game in particular, stopped hesitating. They started sort of matching with their own tighter rotations, and they were more willing to attack as well, and that is kind of what put, it looks like, the Redbacks a bit off balance, and it gave Marsden those couple extra goals. Now, moving into game 4, I feel the earnest is actually still on Marsden. I don't really see the Redbacks as the type of team that's going to mix up their play style, especially because it is what's got them here. It's going to be up to Marsden to continue to sort of weather the aggressive positioning, weather that aggressive storm, and continue to find those opportunities to strike aggressively back, to find those fast counterattacks, and continue to play up the middle of the pitch. The OC Redbacks, they have issues of cheating too far forwards at time, and when Marsden has been able to either go over the top or even just get past that one defender and go straight down the middle, it has been goal, goal, goal for them. If Marsden can continue to do this, they are going to win this series, and they are going to be going to the grand final as the Conference A representative. That is what's on the line for the Redbacks. They've got to find a way to somehow keep that aggressive posturing, keep that offensive pressure, all while shutting down the middle of the pitch. And that is going to be a tough ask. I feel as if the Redbacks, they need to be a bit more consistent on their 50s. I think that will give them more opportunities as well, and then they won't have to be as reliant trying to fall back against some of those mid-pitch breakaways. Either way, we are into game number 4. If Marston State High School win this, they will be advancing to the grand finals, so they kind of are the team to watch in that sense. OC Redbacks, they've had a pretty miraculous run throughout this season. It could all come to an end right here. So close to that grand final, yet so far. We are 20 seconds in. No quick kickoff goal, but it will be Marston looking to establish this first attacking pressure. Ball is going to waterfall down. Dead pushes it back. Where's the shot? Where is the shot? We're seeing Marston hesitating. That ball nearly was able to sneak in, and Marsden perhaps playing a little bit too passively right there with their one attacker forward, 2 defenders back. Last time they only adopted that strategy when they had the lead, and they're going to have to establish that lead first before the more defensive mindset will actually come into play. Interesting start thus far. Now you can see Brenny, though, looking to set up through the corner. S on that follow-through, looking to get the ball to Dead, but he couldn't quite get the angle, so will be the Redbacks with control. Double commit, however, does leave Freedu back. He pops it up for Dead, who tries to drill it off the wall. Rinkaroo makes the read, but doesn't make contact. 2 misses, as a matter of fact, as 2 players did try to go for the ball. In the end, S does get a nice touch off of the back end of Freedu to set up his teammate Dead with that first real shot. Will be stopped by Rinkaroo, and this is the longest we've gone without a goal thus far, minus our first game. OC Redbacks, they haven't gotten the opener goal yet. They are putting some attacking pressure down, but Brenny with a nice flick gets it over the top. Rinkaroo finally stops it, but now here comes S looking for that backboard setup. Not really going to find the second touch. Dead on the follow-through. Again, putting the ball in the air underneath Freedu. Nice grab. Needs another flick, but instead tries to slow play it, so Dead more than happy to punish. Ball, middle of the pitch. Harvey getting there first, looking to deliver to Rinkaroo. Redirects the shot. It goes over the top and in. OC Redbacks take the first goal in game number 4. As we watch this again, S tried to press forward, and Rinkaroo just got that lob. Brenny the Beast unable to recover in time. I think too much boost was used by Brenny in order to rotate back, so he couldn't really get the height off the jump required. A nice little touch from the OC Redbacks gives them that 1-goal lead. 3 minutes remaining. Attacking pressure coming from Harvey. Follow through as well from Harvey. That nearly goes in. Brenny the Beast forced to use that corner post in order to make the save, and now Dead looking to go back that other way. Doesn't like the look in the corner just yet. S will follow it through, trying to set up anyone. It will be Dead again, keeping that mid-pitch down. Attacking pressure coming from Marsden. Another touch. That was absolutely drilled. Crossbar. No, Dead. Oh, he's going to need that one back. That shot was absolutely peppered, but Rinkaroo loses possession of the ball, and now we can see Marsden on that counterattack. Ball in the box. No shot to follow through. Brenny even getting bumps on the way out. But again, Marsden, when they're looking for these goals, they're going to get it. Yeah, okay, Dead has to get that one right. Okay, so OC Redbacks defense finally does crack to the pressure. 2 members going for the same boost, and the one who gets it gets demoed. Not what you want to see from the Redbacks in situations like that. Once again, we are tied with 2:15 to go. OC Redbacks on attack. Fantastic. On defense, breakdowns in communications, double committing for boosts, and leaving exposed nets. For Marsden, on attack, spread out, dynamic, deadly. On defense, sometimes a bit too hesitant, and sometimes getting caught out of position. These teams, each with strengths and weaknesses right now, going neck to neck. Rinkaroo's shot nearly gets that tough angle. Instead, possession will be in with Dead, who's looking to go the distance with the air dribble straight down the middle. Once more, the speed on that dribble, I think, caught the Redbacks off guard. There were 2 defenders there. Neither really goes up for it until it is too late. Rinkaroo finds that goal, and my goodness, this is looking fantastic for this blue side right now. 1 minute and 42 seconds to hold on until going to that grand final. For the Redbacks, that means it's just 1.5 minutes to find the equalizer, to stay alive, and yet they find themselves on defense. What more? Dead trying to muscle his way through. Not quite going to get the goal just yet. Ball in the air. Players getting bumped off it. Freedu makes the read from underneath. Tries to play it on the ground. It's a pretty easy read for Brenny. 1 defender, 1v1. Rinkaroo has to make the stop, and he gets it, and then some. The dunk nearly goes the distance. S forced to retreat and make the save. Yet it's Freedu on the follow-through. Not Freedu, sorry. That was That was Harvey on the follow through, who just couldn't make contact with the ball. Very unfortunate still, though. Freedo, tried to play on the wall. That's a pretty easy save to make, and now it's a bit of a breakaway. S can look to drill it. One defender, again, the one defender makes the save, but the Redbacks need more than saves. They need goals. We are going back and forth and back and forth. Brenny, a bit of space, does get shut down by Harvey from underneath, who gets that ball to Rinkaroo. S, that third member, puts a shot on target. Dead for the redirect. No! Pushed it too far forward. It was a solid attempt, but now Freedo can go over the top. Brenny has to watch that one sail over his head. Shots coming from OC. Not quite finding the goal in this instance. Ball, middle of the pitch, slowly rolling towards that net. 50-50. He's won by Rinkaroo from underneath. Ball in the goal, but not all the way. And that could be it for the Redbacks. So close, but Dead is dribbling it down, looking to end it himself. Doesn't find the shot, but time is on the side of Marsden. 7 seconds to go. And OC Redbacks may have missed that last equalizing opportunity. 0 second time. Ball needs to stay in the air. Harvey is too far behind. And Marsden State High School advanced to the grand finals. Oh my goodness. It was so close. The net was mostly open. Rinkaroo was there. He puts the shot that he required, but the bounce does not go the way of the Ormiston College. Redbacks won. Marsden State High School, they will advance to that best-of-7 grand final. They will have a chance to take home that Season 2 title, but it came down to the wire, and I honestly feel that game could have gone either way. This series could have realistically gone either way. The OC Redbacks, such a great performance, such a great improvement from Semester 1, but the Marsden State High School, this side is a bit too much for them to handle still, and I only expect improvements from OC Redbacks moving in the future. Now, looking at that Marsden side, going into that grand final, yes, they sometimes had their weaknesses on defense, but I still feel S and Dead, their individual plays, are going to be something that whoever their opponents are going to be is going to be tough for them to handle. So it's going to be exciting to see where we go from here. Now, we will be taking a quick break before our grand final match. It will be a best-of-7, so do not go too far. When we return, we're going to be crowning a champion, so don't go too far. We'll be right back.
When you take me to some places that I've never been. That I've never been. That I've never been. That I've never been.
Walking on the moon.
When you're walking on the moon,
Walking on the moon.
chase your happy place. It will change your groove. When you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some places that I've never been. When we dance that I've never been. That I've never been. That I've never been.
pass it back to the middle of the pitch, but gets some help from Kenneth, actually. Fortunately for SCMC Black, it looked as if OC was committing to the side of the pitch, so no one was in the middle to punish. Harvey going for the dribble. What a pass and setup right there. Freedu's not going to be able to pump it in, but that's why you have Rinkaroo and a 3-0 lead for the Redbacks. They're just getting away with whatever they want to do. That pass was a thing of beauty, although, again, with the way how the OC Redbacks are playing, you feel like they're going to be able to create a bit more opportunities for themselves, but this time it's Lemon Juice winning the 50 on the ground, now making it 2-0 for STFC Black, and this series not over yet, with the exception of Rinkaroo. I think Rinkaroo right now can like do no wrong with a lot of these touches. Yet, if consistently, I'm going to be leaning towards STMC Black to possibly get that aerial. I like that pass. I like that shot. Harvey with the save, but they can't stop the third man. Kenneth will bang it in, and once more, STMC Black get themselves the 2-goal cushion that they desperately need if they want to take this game number 3. Nearly own goals in right there. Is able to avoid the ball. A 2-man bump normally equates to a goal, but Rinkaroo able to get his own car on that ball and clear it back the other way. That was a fantastic setup, and the snipe from Luca finds the upper corner of the net. 1-0 for SCMC. The Kobe shot from all the way in his own team's box. Harvey, they were down 2-0. Reverse sweep situation if they can take it to game 5. Freedu, middle of the pitch, shot. It's good. It's off the crossbar, and it does not go in as Kenneth gets that pinch. I do not know how that ball was not in the net. It had to have been pixels. Yet Kenneth may have just saved STMC Black. Freedu still keeping that attacking pressure on. You have Rinkaroo right behind him. The bump is there. Rinkaroo over the top. And the Redbacks do find their equalizer with 46 seconds remaining. They need that miracle play, and they need it now. Yet tight rotations from the Redbacks are making it so difficult. Rinkaroo adds another one. This game is done. The OC Redbacks will be advancing to the conference finals. We will get to see them play again next week. For the double straight away if he was going to be able to get that height. It is a 2-0 lead now for the Chisholm Maroons, and we've only just started. Fake kickoff going for the demo leads to an open net, yet Hype Octros is able to make the initial save. Can't stop Slosso on the follow through. That is a kickoff. You know the Chisholm Maroons have been practicing as well. 3-0 now in favor of this orange side, and they are off to a fantastic start. Are kind of capitalizing on it. Savage Yonks now looking for the setup to Avail. And this is what I mean. Avail nearly puts one in. This is why I want to see Avail more on attack. While he doesn't always have power behind those shots, the positioning and the lobs do catch the Chisholm Maroons off guard. However, a counterattack from this orange side will lead to another goal. 2-0 now in favor of the Maroons. Hype Cross throws up that lob and has going to be forced to chase it. Turns it into a shot. Mountain with no do makes a save, but Avail puts one right back on target, and Avail finally connects with that lob shot. Does get the first goal for St. Edmunds, and finally this school gets on the board. Desperation time now for St. Edmunds. They need to start pushing forward, and they need to start doing it now. Hyped Octros cannot get to the ball. In fact, it's a shot from Mountain with no do that goes off the crossbar and in. That will secure game number 2 for this orange side, and the Chisholm Maroons will be 1 game away from that clean sweep. Unfortunately, can't make the touch as Lasso from underneath. Savage Yonks misses as well. Lasso, everyone's having a chance to try and stop them, but as they say in baseball, 3 strikes, you are out. There's 1, there's 2, and at the very end, Hype Octros, unfortunately, there is number 3. A great lead for the Chisholm Maroons right out of the gate. It took 25 seconds, and the Maroons are already in position to try and take this series. Awkward miss from the Chisholm defense. Avail puts it up for Savage Yonks. He keeps it off the backboard. Where's the third member? You gotta push forward. You gotta look for that goal. Savage Yonks still keeping it there. Finally, Hype Octros does press forward, and St. Edmunds gets the goal. That one felt like an inevitability. Like, eventually, someone was going to take that shot. Lasso, unfortunately, got in Marshall's way on defense. Yet, with 5 seconds remaining, 3-goal cushion. It's not going to be the case. It will be a victory to Chisholm Maroons. They get their third 3-0 sweep over St. Edmunds C1, and they will advance to that conference finals. A victory well deserved for this Chisholm team. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, after 2 exciting months, we're down to just, well, 2 teams for the second time because it is the Season 2 Grand Final here at the XPHSL Rocket League. Now, I am Max Formal. I've been here since the very start of preseason 1, and now we get to crown our second champion to join the likes of that golden team that won it before. Will it be the favorites in Marsden State High School, the #1 seed from Conference A, or will it be the upset underdogs? Because that is right, Chisholm Maroons did win 3-2 against St. Edmunds C2. They stopped that undefeated streak to get themselves that Conference B championship, and well, now they've got to go for that grand championship. It's another match that could be a bit of an upset, yet at the same time, Chisholm Maroons, they've already done it once today. They might be able to do it again, but if they're going to do so, they've got to beat a very, very tough Marsden side. Now, before we get too far, let's take a quick look at the brackets and how these teams were able to get here. As you can see down below, St. Edmunds C2, Chisholm Maroon. That series, which happened off stream, it will eventually be uploaded onto the YouTube. I recommend everyone have a watch because Game 5 in particular really came down to the thick of it. It was in overtime. St. Edmunds had a couple of chances, yet the Chisholm Maroon defense was able to hold on and capitalize off a couple mispositions, and eventually I did look as if nerves got to the St. Edmunds side, and Chisholm Maroons were able to get that OT goal in Game 5. It didn't get much more dramatic, realistically, than it can right there. Maybe this grand final will deliver as well. In fact, I'm kind of hoping that it will, because we're no longer doing best of 5s. We are now in best of 7 territory. It's a real test of endurance, both for the players and, not going to lie, a little bit for myself as well. As we take a look at our schedule so far throughout this day, you can see that opening game was Marsden versus the Redbacks. Marsden did get that victory 3-1. A lot of it had to do with mid-pitch solo plays, playing off the backboard and setting up straight down the middle. Dead and S were 2 players to watch on this Marsden side, yet when you look at Chisholm Maroons, look, it's all about that mountain with no dew, okay? He is going to be a player to watch on the orange side as well, has that ability to sort of make plays happen. A lot of playmakers in this grand final. It's going to be a very, very exciting one. The grand championship, a winner at the end of it all, as this is our big final matchup. Marsden State High School taking on Chisholm Maroons, named after that beautiful Queensland team in what has mostly been a largely Queensland league. You'll love to see it. It's going to be a match. Now, what's interesting for me is that the Chisholm Maroons actually very similar to the Ormiston College Redbacks in terms of their growth and story throughout this season and last season as well. They were kind of a middle-of-the-pack team during Season 1, and Season 2, they now find themselves in that grand final. It was actually Chisholm Green who got to the semifinals that second season around, and now Chisholm does get a squad in that grand final. For Marsden State High School, they have just been dominant pretty much since the word go. They still kind of are the favorites to take this, although we did see some areas where they may have panicked when put under pressure a bit too much. Aggressive positioning sometimes can catch them off guard. The issue I might see happening, though, is Chisholm Maroons, they're not really that offensive team. They're actually a bit more of a defensive-focused side. The coaching that they've received, from what I've been able to gather in conversation, actually comes from a football coach with that mindset of, hey, you know what? Defense wins championships, and sometimes that kind of translates to their play style. I do think Chisholm is going to have to need to be a little bit more aggressive as we do kick off our grand final. One last time, it is Marsden in blue, Chisholm in orange. Winner take all of this best of 7 grand final time, and Chisholm actually looks to be establishing that first attack. Pass back across the middle, yet no one is there for the shot. As we do press forward, Mount with no do, tries to play it off the backboard. Dead with that follow through straight down the middle, but there's a difference. Lasso back on that deep rotation is able to make the save, and against Ormiston, that would have been a goal for Dead, but Chisholm, they know how to react. They do know how to rotate a little bit better than Ormiston, and that comes to effect early. Dead, though, going for that solo play, tried to spike it down, pushes it a little too high, and Brenny, not liking the odds, instead sits back. And typically, I'm saying, you know what, go for those shots. I actually agree with Brenny on that situation. With 2 defenders in the box, the smarter play, the less risk play, was sitting back and looking to establish that offensive attack. However, it does look as if Marston may have let it slip by them. Good setup for Mountain with no do, and the big striker finds that first goal, courtesy of Lasso playing through that corner. As you can see, he gets that second touch, finds that goal. You also had, it looked like Marshall from behind looking for a bump as well. It was a 3-pronged attack, but it does find that opening goal for the Chisholm Maroons in this grand final. However, kickoff going to be working a little bit against them right now. Oh, pinch nearly goes the wrong way. Scary situation for Chisholm. Marston looking to find that goal, tries to pass it back, but Brenny the Beast is going in reverse. Oh no, it's an open net, but it goes off the crossbar. Follow through attack, tries to get set up, and it will be shut down by S. I'm not sure what Brenny was doing there. He was going in reverse away from the ball. That net was super open, yet Chisholm unable to capitalize on it, and you feel like that is one Chisholm might want back in the near future, especially if Marston can find that equalizing goal. Dead with the shot. It had the power, but Marshall was able to get underneath it. Lasso now looking for that deep clear, tries to pass it back to the middle of the pitch. Doesn't find too much. Shot instead comes from Mount with no do. Marshall goes up, but Dead goes that little bit higher. Lasso now forced to rotate back to the corner, playing it off of that wall, middle of the pitch. No one there to catch the pass, so S going to be able to throw it right back. 2 minutes into our opener in this grand final, and Brenny the Beast is looking to tie it. Defenders bumping into each other. Yet again, the shot is pushed a little bit too high. That's Chisholm Maroon trying to establish their own counterattack right now. Ball up in the air. Marshall, shot, pass, good. Mountain with no do, gets his second goal. It's another tight infield pass. This time, Brenny the Beast alone on defense. Tried to push forward in that setup. Wide open net. Mountain with no do. Just going to bang that one through. 2-0 in favor of Chisholm Maroon in game number 1. The dynamic attack from Chisholm Maroon actually catching Marston off guard, not to mention their deeper defensive rotations really shutting down Marston's solo attempts to push it forward. This is looking very, very promising in game number 1 for this Chisholm side. Now, obviously, in a best of 7, adaptation is going to become key sooner than later. That's actually a pretty good clear. Brenny the Beast should be able to catch that off of that wall, but makes a bit of an awkward read. And that should give enough time for the Chisholm defense to recover. Into the corner we go. Mount with no do, keeping it high from underneath. Lasso goes for the 50, but instead sees that ball pinched right across the middle. Brenny, nice touch. Mount with no do, falls back, makes the catch. Late flick. Actually gets it to Lasso. 2v1 situation. S gets there first and drills it right back to the orange side. Ball slow rolling towards the net, but Lasso will be able to recover. Makes himself a pretty nice save as continuing with this one. Off the backboard we go. Dead tries to set up his team. S is there. He's going to put it high. That ball hits the roof like he wanted to, but not at the angle, so it kind of sailed a bit too far. Chisholm Maroon there for the save initially. Brenny the Beast now has a chance, loses the 1v1 against Marshall. S goes for the 50, wins it out, gets the second touch, ball to the backboard, no defender there. Marshall's going to have to wrap around, but where's the attackers? Where is Marsden? 1 member forward, 2 members back. Again, leads to a slow attack coming from this blue side, though. S, only 1 defender to beat, puts a bad touch, and Marshall can go straight over the top, forcing Dead to that back corner. 1 minute 20 to go, 0-0 scoreline. Now with no do. Drills it to the opposite end. Actually Marshall, who plays it through the corner, looking for another touch. Won't find the setup. Actually does get it as Brenny gets a bit dunked on. Now you have an opportunity. Lasso, backboard setup, Dead. Nice touch, but it's still going to be caught with Mount with no do. Back towards the middle. S looks to drill it straight down the center. And no, it's too high. For the 3rd time this game, Marsden has an open net, but pushes the ball a little bit too high. Under a minute to go. Chisholm Maroons looking to hold on in this game number 1, and they are in complete control, it appears. Marsden with their opportunities, just unable to capitalize. Defense still at times a little choppy for Chisholm. As you can see, they bump into each other on occasion when playing in towards the corner, yet it has been their speed on attack that has been the difference thus far. Dead. Oh, that's a weak touch. Lasso with the bump in the net. Mount with no do has the shot. Brenny able to recover and make that save. Very tight game, but with only 20 seconds to go, that should do it for game number 1, unless something absolutely crazy happens. S tries to, you know, put a little bit of inkling and doubt perhaps onto this Chisholm side. They double commit on that first touch, yet still are able to recover. And Lasso, with a touch into the box, will put an end to game number 1. So the Chisholm Maroons take the first one in this best of 7. Ball hits the ground, and Chisholm Maroons, the underdog based off seeding, one would have to say, definitely get the start they were looking for. Now, what's interesting about this is, yes, I say they are the underdog based off of seeding. All the teams from Conference A only played Conference A teams. All the teams from Conference B only played Conference B teams. This is the first time we really get to see Conference A versus Conference B. And right now, Chisholm Maroons representing Conference B in amazing fashion. Again, in order to get here, they had to beat St. Edmunds, who was undefeated within that conference. And so the big question could have been, well, how strong was Conference B really? Well, now we can answer that because Chisholm Maroons, not only do they take down the undefeated team, but now they take down game number 1 as the number 2 seed from that division over the number 1 seed from Conference A. A lot more Rocket League still to be played, though, as mentioned multiple times, best of 7. So we still have at least 3 more games. But realistically, I think we're going to be seeing a few more. Marsden now should be a little bit more aware that Chisholm on their attack, they're not afraid to get those tight infield passes. They're not afraid to try and mix up your defense. I want to see more of that from the Marsden side. They still trying to rely on like these solo booming clears, and unfortunately, because of Chisholm Maroon constantly keeping one member back, it's just not going to work. There's always going to be a defender in the way, and finding those breakaways are going to be few and far between. That's not to say Marsden didn't get those breakaways. In fact, we saw a fair few of them, yet even when we did, they just weren't able to connect on those goals. That kind of is why I still see the series getting competitive again, though, because Marsden have had those opportunities, and they were just, you know, slight touches away from being actual goals. Like, if Marsden hits those 3 open nets, well, we're looking at a 3-2 game instead of a 2-0 game. So definitely still a very tight series as Dead puts the first shot on target. Lasso, again, there for the save as Marsden still trying to drive those solo plays up the middle. Defense a little choppy from Chisholm. Does give Marsden another chance. Shot's going to come from above and Brenny the Beast, but from underneath Lasso again makes that save. And Lasso is a player I want to be highlighting right now because Lasso's defense has been what's keeping Chisholm competitive in this series. He has had so many clutch saves already that unless Marsden can get like a bump or a demo or just somehow get Lasso out of position, I still feel like they're going to struggle on the attack. Dead though, open net, and it's Lasso once more, who has that speed to be able to wrap around and make the save. Big game thus far, as we do see ball kind of getting stuck on that side. Touch is going to be made by Lasso, pushing it forward. Out of the corner, Lasso doesn't quite make that backboard read. Mount with no do, biding his time. Gets the touch over not 1 but 2 defenders. Dead has to play off the backboard. S tries to pass it back, but it actually will be Dead from underneath. 50-50 goes in favor of the Marsden side as they try to find that first attack. Not quite going to get it just yet. Shot comes from Lasso, saved by Dead. Underneath Dead as well, tries to get over the top of Mount with no do, but still 3 defenders back from Chisholm Maroon. It's going to make any attack that much more difficult. Lasso wins a big 50 by getting to the ball first. Marshall as well keeps the ball on the attacking half. Mount with no do, spikes it down, but awkward position for Chisholm Maroon, who triple commit on the attack. Fortunately for this orange side, it doesn't look as if Marsden was able to recover that quick enough. 2 minutes into this first game, still, or second game I should say. Still no score to be had as now we get to see Dead pushing forward. I like that, but he's just unable to contact the ball. S forced to make a tough read, but Lasso should be there. Spikes it through top crossbar again with the save, and the follow-up not there, so Mount with no do has to fall back. Marshall just missed on what could have been a pretty open net. S gets challenged by Lasso, who wins it out. Ball gets a great bounce for Chisholm, forcing S to use all that boost. That should lead to an open net situation, but Mount with no do pushed it a bit too high, and Dead was able to recover. Lasso versus Dead, as Lasso bumped Dead completely out of the play. Marshall able to rotate back by this stage as well. S, nice read off of the wall, gets it to the backboard. It's going to waterfall down. Ball in a very dangerous spot. S, awkward position, cannot recover to turn it into a shot. And with Brenny the Beast playing mid-pitch, there's no one there to absolutely force that one through. Now, Marsden's defense-heavy playstyle is definitely benefiting them. Both teams more content to send 1 member forward, 2 members back, and that's why we're seeing such a low-scoring affair. 1:40 remaining, still sitting at 0-0, but here comes a scoring opportunity. Dead. Great save, and gets the clear as well. Great, and he keeps pushing through. Dead, doing everything himself. He nearly has the shot. Pushes it a little bit too far. S clears out the defender, but there's Mount with no do. He can't make the save, and Marsden State High School get the 1-goal lead. Dead puts in so much work to set up. S as well with the follow-through, gets the bump onto Lasso. And that is what is so critical. It was Lasso who had been making so many great defensive saves. Marsden gets a big 1-0 lead. So Marsden with this lead, looking to equalize this series. Still a minute 20 to go. This ball comes up. Dead will be looking to follow through. Tries to spike it down, but Lasso able to play through that corner. S is there. Ball back into the box. Mount with no do. Really awkward touch. And it doesn't look like Chisholm want to capitalize on it just yet. That just leaves an exposed net. No! Oh my goodness, S could have put that second game away with a goal right there. But once again, similar to game number 1, just missing an open net off the backboard. Can't make the double touch read. Ball in no man's land, and this could be Chisholm's chance to find that counterattack. 50 seconds to go. Chisholm looking for the equalizer, yet no one is rotating tightly, which means Dead can take it right back that other way. 43 seconds to go. S, good touch, trying to play off of the roof. Ball back to the middle of the pitch. Brenny is there. Ball slow rolling towards the net. Brenny looking for the shot, not going to find it. Defense holding on for now. Dead pops it up, looking for the follow-through, looking to possibly end this game. It's going to waterfall back down. Going up for it was Brenny the Beast. S with that follow-through doesn't get it. Now there's only one defender. Chisholm has to get aggressive, but they can't sustain the attack. 18 seconds remaining, and once again, Marsden on the orange side of the pitch. It's a slow play that makes everyone miss, but now you've got a bit of a breakaway. Mount with no do, can't get to the ball before S, who is able to take it over the first attacker. Lasso from underneath, doesn't make contact. It's all on Marshall. Shot stopped by Dead, and that should do it for this second game. Dead keeps the ball on the ground, but Marshall somehow snuck underneath. Chisholm Maroon still with a chance, but there's going to be no one underneath that. Clear. Marsden State High School do take game number 2, and our grand final is tied at 1 apiece. Very defensive game. Very tense game right now, and it still feels like this one can go either way. I like Marsden playing at more defensive style, trying to find those opportunities for the counterattacks, because while, yes, when Chisholm do start attacking, their attack can be very dynamic. They do sort of either play hard defense or hard attack, and Marsden was sort of waiting for those times when Chisholm sent all 3 members forward for a more aggressive attack, and they were able to find those counterattacks. I think Chisholm actually played better when they were sending 1 member forward, 2 members back, but it looked like they started to get impatient towards the end of that second game, still being stuck at 0-0, kind of getting desperate to find that go-ahead goal. And eventually that is what cost them. So Marsden's going to be feeling very good after that victory right there, feeling like, okay, this is a bit more what we expected to do. Now, at times, especially on attack, I still want to see Marsden press a little bit further forward. There are still opportunities that are kind of left on the table where the ball is just rolling in the box and they're a little bit slow to react. Brenny in particular, I want to see that confidence that we saw back during that semifinals, because there are times when it does look like Brenny is hesitating. I did say when it was good, but there were a couple times when it might have been more beneficial to actually press forward and take that attack, especially with Dead staying all the way back. You still have that defender, so you can't afford to take those shots, as this opening kickoff of Game 3 will go straight in favor of the Chisholm side. So Chisholm Maroons, they find their answer finally. Dead, that last defender, just couldn't make the right read. And Mount with no do is there to punish. So that is a fantastic start for the Chisholm Maroon side. 1-0 for Orange. Kickoff, though, now it's going to actually go in favor of Marsden. Brenny nearly gets one of the tightest spikes you would ever see. Just not quite able to put that one in. S forced to try to drive back to the own corner, but Dead's already getting bumped. This setup's looking good for Chisholm. They double commit, however, and now with all 3 members in that attacking corner, if that fast counterattack from Marsden could be very, very dangerous. Also able to make the save, but Dead with that follow through will find the equalizer, and in just 30 seconds, we have already doubled the score count of our second game. Only took 30 seconds. Fun thing to think about, I suppose, if you want to think about it that way. Either way, we are looking at a tie game. Now, because this is 1 apiece, we can almost consider this a best of 5 moving forward. So, you know, it's kind of like game 1 now of our semifinal. S, absolutely open net across the middle. That's going to go in. And if there's anything you need to know about Marsden, is never expose the middle of the pitch. S absolutely drills this one straight front and center. No one's going to be back in time to make that save. So 2-1 in favor of Marsden State High School, so they're going to continue to try to roll this goal line along. Ball through the corner. Oh, awkward pinch right there for the Chisholm side, and now Brenny the Beast with that aggressive positioning. Couldn't quite drill it the way he wanted to, but S actually gets the defense a bit off balance. Follow through by Dead's going to lead to another open net goal. Marston State High School have woken up, it looks like, 3 unanswered goals in less than a minute, as they have their first 2-goal cushion, actually, of this series right now. Marston State looking to take this grand final over in game number 3. Kickoff, kind of a bit of a dead ball right there. It will be Brenny who gets to it first. Goes for a later flick, gets it over Mount with no juke, gets that second touch as well, but Lasso able to recover and make a bit of the save. Ball going up and bouncing around from underneath. No one's able to find it just yet. Mount with no do has a nice touch. It's all right, but it actually goes the distance. I'm a little bit surprised by that. All 3 Chisholm defenders again on that same corner. It's because a lot of members were going for bumps, others were going for boosts, and the third had the ball. Slower pace right now in this third game, as we kind of are playing a bit of ping pong back and forth. Both teams opting for a more defensive style once again, as too many goals for comfort, I feel like, especially on that Chisholm side. You don't like to give up 3 goals in the span of 1 minute. Recovering from this is going to be as much of a practical game as it will be a mental game for the Chisholm side. For Marston, they can now play that sort of defensive style that I think they feel more comfortable in. 1 member forward, 2 members back. Look for that counterattack up the middle of the pitch if you really want to keep finding goals. As we see that pass back to the middle of the pitch right now. Dead is there again, keeping Chisholm's counterattack a bit off balance with these awkward touches. S hand delivers it to Lasso, who's making every defender miss. Couldn't quite put it accurate enough. Lasso nearly finds a pretty critical breakaway goal. 2:55 remaining. Chisholm on this attack, and I could see them perhaps getting a little bit desperate if things don't initially go their way. Brenny the Beast doesn't quite win that 50. Instead, he goes to Dead. He'll put it up towards that backboard, looking to make the read. Gets it off the wall. Second touch from underneath, popping that ball into the sky. Dead, clearing it back towards the middle. Backboard read. Ooh, save is going to be made by now. Chisholm Maroons, they don't want to be playing defense right now. They want to be attacking. They want to be on offense. Dead bangs it, but it'll be caught that opposite side. Marshall from underneath, trying to play through the corner. S shot, save made by Mountain with no do. Up we go, Mountain with no do, looking to follow it along. Actually, hand delivers it right back to Brenny. Marshall from behind. Ooh, can't let the ball get behind him now. This could be a scary situation. Brenny the Beast doesn't like that initial look. Actually lets Chisholm take the shot, and the shadow defense pays off for the Marston side as they stop yet another Chisholm attack. Things looking better and better right now for Marston State High School as they continue to hold on. In fact, nearly finding another goal right there with Brenny the Beast. Marshall goes for the slow dribble. Will be sought by S for the time being. S looking to make that read. Doesn't really follow through too much with it. Nice dunk from out with no do. Open net set up, and S was able to recover. Trying to bait S out of the box with that lob. Instead leads to the demo from Marshall, yet the third member so far back. It does mean that Chisholm can't turn that into a proper attack, although that bounce definitely goes their way. Someone's got to go up for it. It's going to be Marshall. Instead, he passes back to the middle. Mount with no do. Drives it too far to the right. Chisholm, they're getting steps 1 and 2 correct, but they're still not finding those angles needed for the shots, and that's what's holding them back at this stage in this third game. Marston State High School, very content to play the slower pace, very content to let Chisholm kind of play setup as long as they shut down the shot. Marston's going to be A-okay in this third game. Under a minute to go right now, still a 2-goal cushion. It was 4 goals in that opening minute before sort of that goal count went right down. And now Marston are only 43 seconds away from getting to a 2-1 lead in this series. Shot's going to come from Marshall, though. Oh, he puts it a little bit too high and to the right, unfortunately. That could have been good. Rule 1 happening yet again. And this one is not being broken, might I add. They are committing to the Rule 1. Marston we all saw what happened last time when you break the Rule 1, all right? OC Redbacks kind of let that one slip. Well, Chisholm not making that same mistake against Marston, so it does force this 2v2 situation. The defense holding on. 13 seconds to go. They're still at it. Lasso is still at that Rule 1 situation, even when down by 2. Give credit where credit is due. Brenny the Beast does give that third goal, however, so Marston State High School take advantage of the 2v2 situation. Lasso kind of passing it to Brenny because of the Rule 1. That's not the assist you want to get, but it's one you love to see. Dedication to the rule. Big ups and big respect to Lasso in that play. Unfortunately, Chisholm won't be getting the win in this one, so Marston State High School take game number 3 as they do get ever closer to this grand final victory. Oh my goodness. A Rule 1 in a grand final that is not broken. That goes up there with some of the best things that I have seen in Oceanic Rocket League. Lasso still needs to be that star defender, though, moving forward. Look, given the circumstances and the timing of that Rule 1 as well, even if it had been broken, it still would have been tough, realistically, for Chisholm to come back in it. And if this is the type of thing that resets your mental, by all means, I kind of am okay with it in those situations, because you're keeping your mental fresh, you're keeping your mindset still in this series, and that's what Chisholm is going to have to rely on going into games 4 and 5. These are now sort of those must-win situations. If they drop this next game, that means Marsden is on tournament point, and putting Chisholm in what would be a more traditional reverse sweep situation, down 3-1, is very, very difficult to come back from. This is must-win for this Chisholm side. For Marsden, however, keep pulling off more of the same. It definitely looks as if they've finally gotten comfortable with Chisholm's play style, that even after an opening kickoff goal, Marsden was able to recover. We could only have 2 games left, but we could also have many more. This is game number 4. Marsden up 2-1 in this series, and they're the ones leading the attack. 43 seconds on that clock with an extra 4 minutes on top of it, as the first shot's going to come from Lasso. It was a nice flick save made by S, as the follow-through is on this Marsden side. Nice demo from S as well, just taking Marshall completely out of the play. It's a bit of a power play situation, yet the backboard read is there for this Chisholm side. As you see Marshall go up for the ball, it's a bit of a fake. Lasso late flick, but Dead able to make that read. Very, very critical save coming from Marsden as we approach the first minute of this first game, coming to its conclusions. Another 0-0 game. These teams like playing tight defense. That was such a cheeky flick from Marshall. It actually causes 2 attackers to bite, and it leads to a Chisholm counterattack. Yet, Mount with no do, pushing too far forward now. They have to race back on defense. Looks like S is going to be that one trying to make the read. He does. He turns it to a shot. It's a bit high from underneath. No. Cannot find it. Marsden, though, still on that attacking half. S still shutting down those initial clear attempts, running the beast to the backboard, to the setup, but the rest of the team is back for boost, and that does stop the attack for now. Dead able to recover and keep that attacking pressure on. Marshall with the save. S now trying to play backboard on the middle of the pitch. That's where Marsden looks its deadliest. Lasso with the touch, but the pass is to underneath, where you do see Mountain is there. So Marshall trying to fall through the corner. Ball rolling towards the box. Not going to find too much just yet. Marshall with possession, trying to flick it to someone, trying to flick it to anyone. Now with no do, keeps pushing it towards the goal. Ball kept up. Now follow through again. A lot of pop-ups, a lot of meatballs with both these teams sort of waiting for the ball to fall back down. It doesn't look like the confidence to go for these aerials like consistently is really there, except for a couple of key members. Like Marsden seems more willing to play the aerial game. Everyone's missing. Ball in the box. Mount with no dude. That's not the touch. Dead tries to pass it back. That was a scary situation for Chisholm. Very fortunate to get out of that one, but the passive play from Marsden again, possibly costing them a goal-scoring opportunity. Chisholm's going to be happy to take that, although S is still looking to keep that attacking half on. Marsden has been on the attack, it feels like, for the entirety of this 4th game. So few opportunities for Chisholm to bounce back in this. Finally, we get to see the clear. Mount with no douche gets the shot. Oh, absolute precision coming from Mountain with no do. As we watch this again, Brenny the Beast, awkward backboard read. Thought he had more time to work with. And Mountain with no do just absolutely drains that one in the upper right-hand corner. Chisholm fighting back. 1-0 now in favor of this Chisholm side, as Team Out with no do look to get that clear. Defenders getting stuck against each other. Lasso, quick punish, quick kickoff goal. Chisholm Maroon get the 2-0 lead in game number 4. Again, I was saying this was must win for them. It looks like they're going to take this game, and that would equalize our series at 2 apiece. Oh my, we're getting close to that game 7. That game 7 is on the horizon right now. You can see it's slowly starting to rise over the ocean, as we are all Queenslanders, so that does mean we do get that beautiful ocean sunrise each and every morning. Good setup from Friendly the Beast. Will be caught by Dead at the moment. Chisholm Maroon still trying to race back on defense, but Dead is trying to establish something. S nearly forces it through. The defense will hold on to now. Sort of a double commit along the side. Lasso pushing a bit too far forward. Gets the touch in reverse, but Mount with no do was also trying to cheat forward. Forced to race back on defense now. Marsden. It still feels like they've been attacking for 2 of the 3 minutes of this game, yet have not been able to find a goal. It's been very, very solid defense from the Chisholm Maroon side, and although they haven't been able to find those counterattacks, they've just been sort of sustaining this pressure, and it's just making it so difficult for Marston to find those goals. And this is that Chisholm defense I was talking about before. Now, though, S with the breakaway. This has got to be a goal. Marshall gets back in time but can't make the read. So Marston does find one back on the counterattack, and after the Chisholm defense has been playing so well, they send 3 members forward on the attacking half while up 2-0. A little bit of a mistake right there, and it's one that Marston will happily capitalize on and punish. So Marston bringing it back. If they can find that equalizing goal, all of a sudden Chisholm Maroon can find themselves in a very dire situation. Lasso, who has his clear attempt stopped by S, but Chisholm Maroon now sending 2 members back on defense. I think they may have learned their lesson after what has just happened. You would have to think, you would have to hope, but Lasso whiffs the ball. Marston, again, too far back. They're not going to capitalize on it just yet. 1:10 to go. Mount with no do. Good touch. Gets the ball to the corner. Brenny the Beast bounces back. That's a good pass. Lasso, if he had more boost, I think he could have committed to a shot right there. Instead, looking to slow play it by putting it up, though. It does mean Dead will have a chance to keep that ball in the air. Someone's got to go. All right, Brenny the Beast will be the one who pushes forward. Gets that pass to Dead. Mount with no do. Goes for the clear, and off the back of the demo means S is going to be the one who pushes forward. Just buying time for Chisholm to establish their own defense. Ball in an awkward spot. Lasso, again, doesn't make the read needed. And Dead gets the demo onto Marshall. They can't turn it into a goal, however. Marston able to get that attacking pressure, but they can't quite finish the job. 33 seconds to go. Chisholm Maroon still hanging on. They need to hold on for another half minute if they're going to take this game 4 and push us to the game 5. Ball in the air into that corner. Marshall goes up. Doesn't quite get the touch needed. Here comes Brenny. That's the equalizer with 19 seconds remaining. Marston is able to fight back on the second half of this game. And after what was such a good start for the Chisholm Maroons, they could be seeing that equalized series kind of slip away. You got to feel like next goal takes this one. 19 seconds left in regulation. We could be seeing overtime. Mountain with no do. Does stop Brenny the Beast from getting a fast counter-attack goal off of the kickoff. Dead, though, still will have possession. Gets it over one. Lasso bumping into Mountain with no do. Scary situation, yet the defense recovers. S has a chance, but won't be able to get to the ball. 2 seconds remaining in regulation. Ball's got to stay in the air, but instead gets downed. Let's do overtime in our grand final, game number 4. Kickoff. Looking very good. Marshall on the cheat. Marshall with a chance is not able to beat Brenny the Beast, who looks to pass it back over to Dead. Lasso instead keeping it very forward. This overtime, I'm just going to say right now, has potential to get very, very long. With 2 more defense-minded teams in an overtime in a grand final, perhaps playing a bit more passively, this could be a very long overtime. I'm curious to see which team will find that aggressive edge first and whether or not they'll get punished for it. 30 seconds into this overtime. S with the first chance can't get the spike needed. And now we can see that counterattack. Lasso needs a better half flip than that, but Mount with no do is able to recover from up above. Now you do see Marshall puts it up high. Mount with no do with that follow through. Chisholm trying to get that attack. S shutting it down as everyone was playing through the corner. Lasso, last defender back. 1v1 against Dead. Touch the touch on the ball, but Brenny can follow it through. Shot saved by Marshall once again. As we approach that first minute of overtime, S gets it over the top of the Lasso. Back to the corner. Oh, double commit on defense. Dead tries to punish, but can't make contact with the ball. S as well. Throws up that meatball. Marshall can fall through. Marshall misses it as well. And Dead now getting demo. So is Marshall. Everyone just drop in the panic mechanic button. Either slam the ball or slam an opponent. Try to create those opportunities. Marshall had the shot. The net was open, but he pushes it far to the right. Minute 20 into this overtime. Mount with no do. Again, looking to set up this Chisholm side. Gets that second touch over S. It's off the backboard. Dead puts it up, but everyone pushes too far forward on the Chisholm side. Forced to race back on defense now. S has a chance to set up Marsden. Dead, open-ish net. 2 defenders are there. Backboard save. Yao S has a chance. That net was so good, but the shot was not. S unfortunately pushes it to the right. The follow-through from Brenny. That's going to go in, and Marston State High School advance to tournament point after a 105-second overtime of Brenny finding that angle. And now for the Chisholm Maroons, you got to win 3 in a row if you want to take this grand final. 3-game opportunity for Marsden to get this one done. They have the 3-1 lead. Just need to win one last game. It's going to be, I think, tense either way. Marsden, that pressure, the fact that they were able to keep that attacking pressure for so long and not let it get to their heads that they just weren't cracking that defense, just sticking to the game plan, recognizing eventually something will break. And it never was the first man. It definitely wasn't the second man. It seemed consistently to be the third man that was able to break that Chisholm side. And again, you also have to look back to that breakaway goal, that equalizer in regulation, or the first goal, I should say, for Marston in regulation, where Chisholm, they send 3 members forward and immediately get punished for it. Game number 5 in our grand final. It could be our final game, especially if Marston can hold on to this lead. Dead gets the kickoff goal. 6 seconds in, it was off of the cheat. He gets the flick. Mount with no do, can't make the read. S was even there as well, had the defender gotten the touch, and that is huge for Marston. They have that 1 goal advantage. They have tournament point right now. Will the defense hold on? They love going 2 defenders, 1 attacker. I think if they stick with this and not get greedy, they have a very strong chance of holding on to it. Chisholm Maroons, they won the first game, but haven't found success since. They gave up a 2-goal lead, in fact, in game number 4. They had a 1-goal lead in game 3 as well, so they've had leads. They've just never been able to hold on, and right now they find themselves behind. It is Chisholm looking to establish that attack, yet Marston shutting down the middle of the pitch. Marshall finds an angle, but S already rotating back, should be able to make the save. In fact, he gets it up to Dead, should throw it back to the middle, but can't make contact with the ball. Back and forth at the moment. Ball slowly rolling towards that net. Will be touched by Marshall, looking to get the ground pinch, but is unable to find it, so Marshall will have to play it through. Dead. Nice touch. It's a pass to S. Trying to find that shot, but Mount with no do will shut it down, at least for now. Brenny, another chance. Backboard setup. He's got to take that shot, but he pushes it wide to the left. Here we go. Mountain with no do. Nice flick, but it will be caught by Dead. Ball playing off of the wall at this stage. Lasso following through. It's a pass and a goal! Great pass right there from that Chisholm attack, as we see once again. As Lasso is able to make that touch. It was a good redirect from Marshall. One of the best we've seen, actually, in this tournament thus far. And that's going to equalize this game. Chisholm Maroons starting to fight back. Marsden in a bit of strife as Marshall gets a nice touch on that ball. Good follow through by Mountain with no do. Doesn't quite get that second touch, however. Now S playing a bit further back. Actually looking to drive it. The 1 defender misses. Heartbreak for Chisholm Maroon right there. It was a 1v1, and a poor angle may have just cost Chisholm Maroon. As you can see again on that replay. I didn't quite catch who it was, but it's very unfortunate. It wasn't Mountain with no do, as the car was definitely red and not gold. I believe it may have been not Marshall, but it may have been Lasso, whose defense has been so consistent throughout. But that 1 misread, and then another kickoff opportunity from Brenny. Isn't going to find that goal. Dead gets another one instead. And Marston starting to run away with this series. A 2-goal cushion off of the weak touch from Lasso. I loved that aggressive positioning from Dead. That is what has been lacking, I should say, from the Marston attack throughout so much of today. But when they press forward, they do get that goal. A 2-goal cushion. Again, I still expect them to sort of rotate back to their 2 defenders back, 1 attacker forward approach that we've seen thus far. And maybe that will carry them through. Ball in the air. Mount with no do. Has a chance to read. He's going to have to play it through himself, though. Using all the boost in the process, his only hope is for a 50 to go his side's way. But Dead makes that beautiful read through the corner. I do like how Chisholm are starting to spread their attack. That should hopefully get the defense a bit off balance. Play through the corner, but not enough power behind it. Still Mount with no do. The delayed attack nearly working out right there. However, the solo clear and the tighter positioning actually benefits Marston in this situation. Good backboard setup, but a better backboard read coming from the Chisholm side. You see Mountain with no do, looking to follow it through, looks to pass it back. It's a good setup, but he pushed it a little bit too hard. Unfortunately, Chisholm couldn't get to the ball fast enough on this instant. More attacker packing pressure being put on Lasso. Nice pinch. Ball's going to waterfall down in a good spot, but still 3 defenders in the box. What I don't like out of Marsden, though, if they're moving as a 3, and while they're fanning, they're still kind of saying vertical to the goal. And this could have eventually been a bad situation. Marsden's not spread out like they were in the past. They're starting to clump a little bit. And if Chisholm Maroon are a bit faster with their passes, they could have looked to punish. Instead, Dead absolutely drills that setup out of the corner. Let's watch this one again. Dead, great read, open net as Chisholm Maroons again clumping in that corner. There's been a lot of clumping in this 5th game, and it is definitely like the result of the higher scoring situation right now. Marsden, 3-goal cushion, 2 minutes remaining. Chisholm Maroons, they need to get this attack going, this similar attack that we saw earlier in the series where they were able to stay dynamic, where they were able to keep Marsden on the back foot, but the deeper rotations from Marsden, just giving them more chance to react, really has stifled Chisholm, and unfortunately, it might be too much for this Maroon side to handle. Lasso playing through the corner. Can't quite get the recovery needed. See what happens again. Tries to get that set up. Oh, weak touch from S. Brenny the Beast tries to recover. Chisholm Maroon definitely going for it, but no power behind that shot. Means instead we see the counterattack. That might be the icing on the Grand Championship cake. Marsden High School find that counterattack. It is dead once again. Absolutely drilling it from that defensive position. I can't fault Chisholm too much. The ball was bouncing around in the box. They have to pull their 3rd man. They needed to get that goal to mount the comeback. But now 4 goals down, a minute 20 to go. Marsden Heights State High School. It is their tournament to lose. Keep piling those points on. We're 1 goal away from the Brazil at this stage, as things just again continue to build in favor of Marsden. I would love to hear their comms right now. I feel like it's either dead silence and focused, or they are starting their celebration early. For the Chisholm Maroons, though, they fought hard. For the 2nd season in a row, a Chisholm team has upset a #1 undefeated seed. Season 1, it was Chisholm Green. Season 2, it's Chisholm Maroon. I think that's something that you definitely cannot take away from them. But viva la Brazil, Brenny the Beast, making it 7-1. Give us our Brazil scoreline in our grand final, Game 5. That could be it. I would love it if this score actually stays 7-1 for this final of minute 5. I think it would be a very just end to what has been a fantastic tournament. Still, though, we're going to get more goals. Make it 8-1. Marsden can do no wrong at this stage. Oh, my goodness. Chisholm Maroon. It just gets from bad to worse to worser to the worstest, I believe. 7 goals, 1 minute, 3 seconds. I don't think it's going to happen. A great victory and a great tournament for Marsden State High School. They went through the entirety of this league, only realistically losing 1 series in 1 game as a whole. As it does look like, okay, Marshall was going for that kickoff, using it as a chance to sort of practice those fast kickoffs. Unfortunately, doesn't make contact with the ball. It's kind of hidden from that initial camera right there. 9-1 at this stage, as they have just fallen completely apart. This time they do make contact with the kickoff. 57 seconds to go. Dead looking for double digits right now, but Mountain with no do will be able to shut it down. Just a rough situation, unfortunately, for Chisholm. Again, it was a great season for them. They made it all the way to this grand final, and they definitely put forth a fantastic effort, but Marsden State High School, I'm going to say it right now, if I were going to name a Caster MVP, it's going to be going to Dead. Now, Brenny the Beast, yes, was that striker, and S had a lot of the solo plays, but Dead was often that 3rd member, often that 3rd defender, and was sort of playing mid-pitch shutdown or sort of last-minute defense. Yet Dead also had some of those great clears, which could set up the team. I feel like Dead was the team dad today. We saw it a bit more in the winter semis, as opposed to this grand final necessarily, but Dead absolutely, I think, had the most consistent touches, the best touches, and never seemed to lose a 50-50 or a challenge. So a big congratulations to Marsden State High School. They will be your XPHSL Rocket League champions. They take it 4-1 against the likes of the Chisholm Maroons. It was a 9-1 season, followed by 3 very convincing victories throughout their playoff run. Chisholm Maroon, they got that upset. It was a Game 5 overtime victory to get here, but they could not recover from, well, the Game 4 overtime in this series alone. Dare to inspire and make a difference. That slogan from Marsden State High School, well, they made a difference in this tournament, and it was a very inspired performance to capitalize and get themselves that victory. They are that champions. They get that coaching from Leduc, as well as some other fun prizes, I believe. We'll have to check in with the Discord with that. The big thing that I know they're getting is that coaching from the Canberra Havoc, and I'm curious to see how that will improve this team because, well, I do feel like mechanically they've showed their stuff. I'd love to see them work as a team and improve on some of their team synergies as well. I think that's what's separating them from being a great team. I mean, they're a championship team, but they can even take it to that next level. Hey, come back season 3, maybe even go undefeated. But on that note, it is time to say a goodbye for another fantastic season here at XP Esports. I have had a blast casting each and every single one of these. I hope you've been able to put up with my commentary well enough. One last time, though, we'll like to thank our sponsors, of course, ZQ Racing, the Computer Alliance, and Canberra Havoc. A thank you for all the schools participating. I do hope to see you again next season. A thank you to the team behind the scenes at XP Esports for always making me look and sound so good. And thank you for all of you in that Twitch chat for following along. It's been an absolute journey, and I look forward to seeing you all again. Have a great day, everybody. 5 seconds remaining. Ball on the blue side. It's not going to happen. STMC Gold take the grand final.
Because with live sport cancelled and footy fields deserted, there's never been a better time to be a gamer.
Second attempt, but no boost to fall through. He's trying desperately to get another touch, but he just cannot get there. And with 5 seconds remaining, that could have been the last attempt. Colt's going to get one more goal in. And STMC Gold take game number 1 with that goal right there. Granted,
Playing online games in a school uniform is now the next big thing.
Connie is now in a position. The C4 comes out, melts out lightning. Can't get the follow-up frag.
This is the world of esports, aka sporting comps played via online games.
We want to see your hands up.